My f24 husband, m23, told me he has feelings for our friend, f31. I don't know what to do. We met friend about a year ago. Husband and friend were instant friends while it took longer for friend and I to warm up to each other. A few months ago I starting feeling like things were getting a little too close between them. They were texting more and more often. When we would hang out, husband would ignore me when I tried to talk to him to talk to her instead. Several times I was in the middle of saying something to him and he would just walk away to talk to her instead. This turned into a big fight the last time it happened. I was talking to him about plans for our kid's birthday party and he took off at a dead run to talk to her because he spotted her across the room. I asked husband repeatedly if he had feelings for her, he always said no. I repeatedly told him the way he treated me when she was around, the way he acts when she's around was making me uncomfortable. This built up to another fight where husband insisted that he didn't have feelings for her and he felt like I was just being jealous and that he wasn't allowed to have friends. I felt guilty for making him feel like he wasn't able to have friends. I have never wanted to control who he is friends with, I just wanted us to go back to normal. So, I dropped it. For 2 months I made myself get over my feelings. I felt guilty for feeling upset when they would joke around with each other. I left the room with they would sing the song, Accidentally in Love, together with pretend microphones and leaning into each other. They have done this at the last several game nights. I ignored the fact that when she touched his arm and he didn't push her away, it upset me. I was just starting to feel like I was past it. Like maybe it was just in my head and I was just being jealous. I felt terrible for having doubted husband when he told me he didn't have feelings for friend. Then at the start of this month husband was acting upset. I asked him what was going on and he admitted to me that he does have feelings for friend. He said that he had been having recurring dreams about her. They started out a few months ago, just every now and again, but he is now dreaming about her almost every night. He says he has dreamt about having sex with her a few times, but for the most part he dreams that the three of us are a throuple. He says that the dreams are usually just us hanging out doing things together, nothing romantic, but that we are a throuple. Husband told me he felt guilty for having the dreams, he felt guilty for having feelings for her. He kept apologizing. When I asked him what exactly he felt for her, he said he didn't know. He knows he's attracted to her and that he wants to spend more time with her and get to know her better. He compared it to a third-grade crush. He says that he has no interest or intentions to pursue her romantically, but he doesn't want to stop talking to her or being around her. It's been 2 weeks since husband told me all of this. We started setting aside time at the end of every day to spend time together to just talk about everything. He has answered any questions I asked him. He has started texting her less. I thought that we were doing okay, still figuring out what to do but working through it. Yesterday he told me that the feelings he has are stronger than he thought they were. He hasn't texted her in a few days but that it only of some serious restraint on his part. He realized that he wanted to text her more and more, so he stopped texting, but this has only made him want to talk to her more. He says he can't control the way he feels for her, but he feels so guilty that he is hurting me. He says he doesn't love her. He doesn't believe you can love someone without getting to know them, but he wants to get to know her even though he knows that it will only lead to him feeling more for her. He keeps telling me that no matter what he feels for her, it doesn't change that he loves me. He said that he even feels like he loves me more now. He has been able to talk to me and be honest with me about what he's feeling. He told me that he has no conscious thoughts of pursuing her, but nearly every night he goes to sleep and she is there, and when he wakes up in the morning he feels terrible for it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think or to feel. I feel betrayed and angry that he got close enough to her to feel anything for her at all. I am angry that I saw this coming and made myself get over it. I'm hurt that he lied to me repeatedly about not having feelings for her when he did. I'm hurt that I repeatedly told him he was making me uncomfortable and he basically told me to get over it, but I was right. I feel guilty for being upset about what he feels for her because he can't control his emotions. I don't want to be the reason he has to lose a friend, but I truly don't want to be around her. I don't want him to spend more time with her. I don't want him to talk to her. But he has every right to be friends with whoever he wants to be friends with. I don't know what to do. Sorry it's such a long post. Too long, did not read. My husband has feelings for our mutual friend. What do I do? He's having an emotional affair and guilting you into letting him stay friends with her. If it were my husband, she would be gone, or he would. His choice, he leaves, or she does. He's a father and should know right from wrong at this point. As has been said elsewhere, he's having an emotional affair. You're not asking him to lose a friend, you're telling him to cut off his affair partner. Give husband two choices, you or friend. Act accordingly. If he chooses friend, accept his decision and then take him for every penny he has. Girl, stand up. My God, don't feel bad or guilty. He needs to cut contact with her ASAP. He is the one that kept growing his feelings by continuing ignoring you. Instead of focusing on you, he focused on her. Stand up and don't take his shiz. He either cuts contact with her or you walk away. He needs to cut off contact and stop reinforcing the dopamine rush he gets from connecting with her. He needs to work harder to stop fantasizing about her. Dreams just happen, not much you can do about this. But you got married to him, not him and his extra. He either does what he needs to fix this, or you have some thinking to do about whether you want this person to be the default choice if you are in a hospital, and a decision has to be made as to whether they pull the plug as he is not on team up. How do I 23F deal with my boyfriend's 25M angry outbursts? How to deal with my f23 boyfriend's m25 angry outbursts. My boyfriend is a kind person. He generally makes an effort and will often do nice things like cook dinner for us or suggest a date activity. However, he struggles massively with managing his emotions. Like a source of minor irritation will cause him to get really angry and start cursing. For example, in the morning when we're getting ready to go to work, he'll often be in the bathroom shouting, "Fucking hell," and slamming the cabinet doors because he can't get his hair to sit right. This was less of an issue early in the relationship, as I think he was making an effort not to blow up and I also didn't spend as much time at his place. It's really starting to get me down and affect my self-esteem. Another thing that bothers me is how he treats his mom. She's older and wears hearing aids. Sometimes she needs help with her phone or the Bluetooth for her hearing aids and she's pretty tech illiterate. He'll call her stupid and do this mocking impression of her trying to use her phone. I've called him out on it, but he still does it. Most recently we were in bed together hugging and I turned to him and said, "I'm having such a nice time with you." He paused for a minute before saying, "Can you get off for a bit?" It threw me, but I know he needs his space sometimes, so I let go and moved to the other side of the bed. He pulled me back after a few minutes and I started to ask him a question. He then sighed and said in an irritated tone, "Why are you so fucking hyper my name?" This upset me and I said, "Okay, let's go to sleep." He then kept at me and saying, "Stop being pissed. I haven't even done anything." He asked if we could hug. So I hugged him and kissed him and then went over to my side to sleep. I think everything's okay, but then he says, "It's been fucking an hour since we came up to bed." I had no idea what was going on and told him that he could go to sleep whenever he wanted. He kept insisting that he couldn't sleep because I was annoyed at him. I felt upset, so we hugged again and then finally he turned the lights off. The energy was very strange and I couldn't figure out what I had done wrong. The next morning he was still irritated. He admitted that I hadn't done anything and he was just really angry last night but didn't know why. Fair enough. We got the bus into town to go to work and he was pretty testy, but I didn't say anything. Then we were saying goodbye and he kissed me but was looking away from me. I laughed and said, "Now once more, like you mean it." He pulled me into a tight hug and wouldn't let go. After a minute I started pulling away and he then said, "All right, fuck off then." I felt shocked. He knows I don't like letting my guard down on busy streets because I've been both mugged and assaulted in this area. I told him he couldn't speak to me like that and left. How should I handle this? He sounds super awful. If he can't control his actions, he needs to talk to a therapist and get some anger management training. If he's unwilling to do that, then I'd leave. And clearly his is able to control it if you didn't really see it at the beginning of the relationship. I fear he's just going to get worse and worse. This isn't a partner you can build a life with. I say this with kindness. Get a new boyfriend. Why on earth should you be responsible for managing another adult's actions? Everyone has a right to their feelings, but we are also responsible for managing our emotions in a way that doesn't negatively impact those around us. It is your BF's responsibility to deal with his emotions in a healthy, productive way. Again, I say this with kindness. He needs to grow TF up. You're not a therapist, you won't be able to fix him. You handle this by leaving. If he treats his mom like that, how he treats you will get worse. If you have children with him, he will treat them like that as well. Is that the life you picture for yourself? He is clearly not a good person. Do you think he will get better because I do not? My 37 male wife, 35 female, in man's hotel room at 1:30 a.m. Hi, Throwaway here. My wife of nearly 10 years has a history of at least once straying, but that was prior to marriage. There have been other suspicious circumstances, including once when a man, she says he was her DD, stayed overnight at our apartment while I was out of town, but she insists nothing happened. Recently, my wife went to a work conference with several male colleagues. On the first night there, they all went out to the bars. That went well past midnight. We share our locations on our phones and I hadn't heard from her, so I checked her location. She was at a hotel that wasn't hers. I FaceTimed her and she didn't pick up. I called again and she picked up with the phone facing toward the ceiling wall corner, with her from the shoulders up. I heard a male voice for a half-second and then complete silence. She was eating a slice of pizza. I asked her what she was doing and she said, eating pizza. I asked her where and she didn't answer. She looked nervous. I asked her to spin the phone around so I could see what was going on. She hung up instead. I called her back and she didn't answer. I called again and she picked up and was walking fast through a hotel hallway. She made it outside and we talked on the way back to her hotel. She was nervously grinning the entire way back. She was very drunk. She was acting sort of angry with me. I'm not sure about what. Angry, I called, angry at the obvious sort of implied situation. I asked her to explain the situation and she says that she left the bar with 2 male coworkers to return to a hotel room where another male coworker had pizza. She says that she didn't realize how the situation looked until I called her and that she then panicked. She says that she didn't pan the phone around because she knew I would be upset. When I pointed out that, she immediately told me that she was there with 3 men, so what information was she hiding by not showing me the room? She then said that she didn't pan the phone around because it would have been embarrassing. I'm trying to figure this out and come to terms with whatever happened. My gut feeling is that maybe she is lying and there was only 1 man there and they were doing more than eating pizza, or planning on it. Otherwise, my thought is that it is obviously inappropriate and crosses boundaries she knows that I have, so at best it is extremely disrespectful to me and our marriage. I'm trying to figure out if we should get divorced. She insists this is all because she wanted a slice of pizza. Is that realistic? Am I being gaslit? Please help. Opposite-sex county workers do not go up to hotel rooms at 1:30 a.m. just to eat pizza. There is more going on than your wife is admitting to. If there was nothing going on, she should have had no problem showing the rest of the room. Why are you in other threads giving people advice when you're in here being the most oblivious man alive? Of course it would have been embarrassing. You'd have a panning view of some naked guys having a snack break in the middle of running a train on her drunk ass. You married a cheater and she cheated on you again. Are you really surprised? It won't be the last time. I know I will be attacked for this, but my recommendation is when she comes home, tell her she can take a polygraph or you can get a divorce. My boyfriend, 20M, lied about being sick so he doesn't have to see me, 20F. My boyfriend and I've been dating since past 7 months. We have a very mature, healthy relationship. I am very chill with him having a personal space and individuality cause we all need it as human beings and he knows that. We are very busy with our career and education, so we meet once a week or so. He's going out of state for few months, so I wish to spend time with him. He's leaving tomorrow and we hadn't seen each other in 2 weeks, so I wanted to spend at least 2 days with him before he left. Yesterday we hung out the whole day and we had plans for today as well. However, last night he texted me that he doesn't feel well. He feels like he has fever and sore throat. He's been feeling sick since last few days. As any normal person, I suggested him to stay home and rest. His health is more important than us spending time together. Today morning, I was talking to a mutual friend of ours and he said that the guy's gang is meeting today as my boyfriend, their friend, is leaving tomorrow. I was confused as my boyfriend told me that he is sick and wants to stay home and rest. If he just wanted to meet the boys instead of me, then he could have just said that I want to hang out with the boys. I thought we at least had that honesty and transparency in our relationship. Now, I can't confront him, it will ruin their friendship and their day together. It's his last day with the boys and I don't want to spoil it. But I'm going crazy. Why did he lie to me and what should I do now? People of Reddit. UPDATEE. Thank you for being kind and a little harsh to give me reality check. Turns out, I don't have low self-esteem as some of you thought. I asked him straight out what's going on and he justified that he was feeling sick till noon, so he cancelled the plan to see the boys. He was thinking of calling me over but then had to run some last-minute errands and do packing. We often jump to conclusions too soon. Anyway, thank you for all your advices. Truly appreciate it. We have a very mature, healthy relationship. Hate to tell you, if he feels the need to lie about being sick, your relationship is neither mature or healthy. People in mature, healthy relationships communicate their needs, not lie about them. Also, you should care more about your relationship than if he might get upset with his friend. If you can't confront him about things and talk, you won't survive the distance. We have a very healthy, mature relationship. Why did he lie to me, and what should I do? Ait. Are you sure you're dating? It sounds like you're just an occasional booty call. It's not a healthy relationship if you don't feel like you can communicate your concerns. Please consider talking to him, letting him know gently that you're aware he's not sick, and ask why he wasn't honest. I may a bit of a pushover, but try to go soft. Maybe he has the same issue and doesn't know how to communicate with you without fearing he will upset you. You're not that important to him as you think. Your relationship isn't that healthy if he chose to lie to your face to hang out with his boys.